Dungeon
Deep dive lore
Doomheads,
into that
Let's
dragon.
Talk Lore.
You want to deep dive lore into the Black Dragon?
Yeah. Do you have all that built out?
Not particularly, but
You know how we can pull an earlier topic in?
how?
I think you know how.
Like what?
Let's see what Chad has to say about a
Black-
dark dragon up in the mountains.
Hold on, let me type it. I don't know. Agoth Doomhand and the Skulls of Power campaign by Dungeon Doomhand. That's us. Give me a quick story about the Black Dragon, who is the keeper of the Black Skull.
Yes.
Or the sage of the Black Skull. Make the story dark but hilarious. 2 paragraphs.
And add in a little romance.
Add a little romance. All right, here we go. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Deep in the putrid marshes of Oozvel, where the fog stinks of forgotten sins, the frogs gossip in Abyssal. The self-proclaimed sage of the Black Skull. Okay. Oh, Abyssal lives.
Yeah, the language.
Lives Skyreflex, the Witherwink. That's the Black Dragon's name.
Dragon's name.
The Sage of the Black Skull. Once a terrifying black dragon, feared for melting nights into soup, Skyreflex, I'll just say Black Dragon, fell madly in love with his own reflection after gazing into the acidic surface of the corrupted pond. Convinced his beauty was unmatched, he crafted an enormous shrine of skulls, moss, and shattered mirrors. There, he speaks to his reflection named Clairbel, as she were a sultry banshee, trading dark secrets from dramaticals. The villagers call it a curse. Skyrax calls it date night. But love has made him unstable. Between the brooding lectures about the inevitability of decaying, passionate, blah blah blah. See, that one sucked.
Yeah.
See, like AI.
I think the romance took over that.
Yes.
But I did like where I was going. I liked he was a normal black dragon, then he went crazy. Now he's even more crazy and chaotic. And like the brainstorming idea, I would never have thought of. It fell in love with its own reflection.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty cool. So like that adds a different. Maybe I take that. The keeper of the Black Skull. Its whispers have rotted his soul sweeter than its acid breath. He sings to the shadows and weeps into bone-choked pools, mourning a love he might have dreamed. His shadow.
Yeah.
So to learn the skull's knowledge, you must offer a secret, a kiss, or your skin. Interesting. Ooh. But the Dark Dragon, the Black Dragon, is going to be the keeper of the Black Skull. Obviously, he's going to have some crazy Black Skull power. But
what's the Black Skull represent?
Death. I'd have to look into the colors of it's usually
the representation.
Yeah, it's usually
black represent?
These I found a website that was really cool that had color, but we could do chat.
No, we can go there.
List.
But so the Black Dragon, is it a Black Dragon or is it? No, it's just the Black Skull.
It's a Black Skull.
It could be a undead Black Dragon. A Draco Lich.
It could be, It could also be a character who becomes a black,
Yeah.
You did that in one of the sessions. That was pretty cool. Black often symbolizes things hidden, secret, or unexplored. Obviously, like a void.
Yeah.
It conveys strength, sophistication, and control, associated with formality and timeless style. High-end brands. Dark symbolism. Cultures of black is usually funeral and grief, danger, sinister, emptiness. So like I always like with the Green Skull, you had the nature and stuff, and like yes, it's beautiful and stuff like that, but nature is also very sublime and very weird, but also very like there's rot and greed.
Yeah.
Green is a symbol for rot and green as well. So, psychological associations. Black is often associated with countercultures and resistance. Wearing black can be a signal of self-assurance and seriousness.
So how do we take that into Dragon, or the region?
Shadow duality. Yeah, so also night. Maybe
it's permanently dark there.
Yeah, maybe it's all night, and maybe like Robert Frost, but it could also be, death is good because I wouldn't say Robert Frost maybe, but yeah, no, I mean, death comes, but it's also a transition to something else, not necessarily like to heaven, but like it's sometimes like if black is associated with an end is always associated with a start of some kind.
Right.
So
yeah, when one thing ends, something else begins.
Yeah, and like, does he? I don't know. Like there's a lot of power in the black. Obviously he's going to be evil. He's a black dragon.
And
but like
the other thing about dragons is dragons always influence their environment. So all of that stuff about him is going to be that whole region.
Yes.
And as you were talking and describing that crazy idea, you're saying like death is not the end for there's something else beyond. Maybe the towns there's a town in this region where everyone is undead, but they are just, they're not like mindless, they're just going around living as undead creatures.
Yeah.
Like you see skeletons sweeping the streets and then go and serving drinks as people, undead creatures, or a zombie tries to drink something or gnaws on a bone sitting at a table.
I love maybe like so you know how like this, I'm trying to visualize this. Imagine like there's a mountain, there's a black mountain,
right,
where the dragon is. Imagine like it's sunny out, there's no clouds in the sky, but the region around the black mountain looks like there's a shadow on it. Like it looks like there's a cloud above blocking the sun. Like that's the look of the whole area. So things are like to get you immersed into the realm. When you walk in there, it's a struggle. Like the weeds on the ground are struggling. They're peeling away from the shadow, trying to get to that sunlight right at the border.
Yeah.
And you walk in there, things aren't necessarily all dead, but they are dying. Or constantly
struggling.
Constantly stuck there. Everything looks as though they're drowning. You know? Everyone is pale. And then you take the pale aspect, like, what would the encounter that you should have with people there is the same feeling of like blank, like
nothing.
Weird.
There's nothing to these people.
Yeah, like they don't know joy.
No will to live.
Yeah, but they are.
But they are.
Right? In hopes that, because there's a duality to the black, so like in hopes
maybe.
But with the dragon, I feel like the black...
Well, you said control.
Yeah.
the control. So maybe this is a place in the world where there is slavery or enslavement of the people by the dragon. If they're working for him so that he doesn't kill them. Or
you
they
flip it on
they-
its...
Go ahead.
You could flip it. Instead of having the dragon in charge of all the slaves, it slowly becomes realized that the pale people are actually
In charge of the dragon.
in control of the dragon.
Dragon.
I don't know how to do that. Chat.
Finding a way to create a non-physical force so the dragon doesn't want to leave. It needs to be there for something.
Yeah, I feel like there is where there's no. So in order for their famous quote from South Park, where there can't be hate without any love. No, there can't be love without any hate. So it must be good to be. There can't be good without bad. So it must be good to be evil sometimes.
Okay.
Right? That's what it was.
Yeah.
So maybe the people need the fear of the dragon in the realm to feel some sort of love, maybe some sort of
To feel. Oh, you said resistance and freedom fighters.
Yeah.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the dragon being there is giving them a will to actually live.
Yeah.
Even though the dragon doesn't realize that if he leaves, the darkness will leave with him over time. But every time he does leave, they no longer fear him, and then people start allowing themselves to die because they're not having to fight to protect everyone else from the dragon. So the dragon stays.
Yeah, and maybe the dragon just he just has a shadow like that around him at all times.
Yeah.
So like he just thinks that everyone's like this, but they're really not. He's just a wet blanket. Just throws a wet. Like how do you? That's gonna be fun. So like now add the funny element to it. Like I want every encounter to be sort of like a wet blanket. Wow, wow, wow. Like you know. Would you guys like some lukewarm water? Because that's the only, I made dinner, but it's cold. It's delicious, but like it could have been better because it was cold. Like every interaction is going to be like that.
But it
sort of
has a little bit too much salt.
Yeah, you finally get the magic item, but it's like sort of broken, not.
You finally get it, and as you hold it, the magic fades.
Yeah, they're fighting over like a queen or whatever, but like the queen is like not only is she ugly on the outside, but she's also just like the worst, like most boring person too. It's like they're fighting over that.
Yeah.
What a letdown. Yeah, maybe instead of being super serious, it's like everything's sort of like a letdown. It's like, well, I lost my tail again.
Oh no, there goes my third finger this week. Oh wow.
Yeah. And like weird things happen like magic happens to that, force that to happen. Guy wakes up every day with a full head of hair and he comes home bald. No offense, Chris. But listen, you shave it. You own it.
Yeah.
You've owned it for quite a while.
Yeah.
I will get there at some point.
Well, you did help me realize through your school art project, the first photo of this overhead. Like I'm done.
Wait, which project was that?
Those I don't remember what project it was. It was, I think, where someone was drinking coffee.
Oh yeah.
I remember. And I saw the picture. I'm like, oh no, I'm bald. So I was like, no, just own it and be done. But yeah, stuff like that. Magic is just random, spontaneous in the region. sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yeah. So that reminds me. So one of the art projects I did in college was I got volunteers, which were very easy to find, and I had them. I said, okay, everyone, here's as much beer as you want, and I said, every time you drink a beer, you write your name, and then you write, "I feel fantastic." Actually, no. I had their name on one thing and a line of them writing "I feel fantastic" on it. And let me tell you something. Some people made it to 12, 15 beers or whatever. I videotaped the whole thing as like a performance piece, but
Right.
It was funny, the deterioration in quality of handwriting, and eventually it was just like everyone
Scribble.
quit. Yeah. What if with that in mind, instead of
Right.
beers, every mile you get closer to this mountain, people become worse and worse people.
Well, I love that. Yeah.
Like, hey, how are you?
Closer to
Come
the
on
source of
in.
evil.
Come on in. But they're all the same sort of encounters. Hey, come on in.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I think I'll give you a
Groundhog
bed.
Day every
Yeah.
10
But, like,
miles.
Their names change, but it's like, hey, come on in. I'll give you a place to stay. You guys look tired. The next place you go to is like a ratty shack. Oh, you guys could come. There's no food, but I don't have any room. You sleep on the ground over here. The next place you go into, it's like, get out of here. I catch you around here, or you know. And the last person's just like,
They shoot at them right away.
yeah, get on out of here, boy.
They stick the dogs on them as soon as they see them.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I like that.
Add humor to it. So there you go. I
Yeah.
feel like that's a good way. Life is funny. It's tough. It's serious. It's dark. Oftentimes, it can be rough and stressful, but there's always a good joke.
And just like a
Nothing's
good,
too serious. Everything will be
Just-
fine.
just
right?
like a good campfire story, there's always a moral
That's
tale,
true.
and I think that's a perfect moral tale for tonight.
That's hilarious. Perfect. You know, I like this way of Let's Talk Lore. You know, yes, we're going to talk stuff. We're going to talk shop, but we're also going to have fun doing it.
Fun. Absolutely. I love it.
Now I'm gonna
We're gonna need a lot more use of that random tangent alert.
maybe it should be tangent. No,
Let's
planned discussion alert.
let's
Wait a
talk
minute.
random tangent alert.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Now, next time, I wanted to see who it was that, because I will be. Someone had requested that they liked our Sky Kingdom build.
Oh, nice.
And he had requested
Oh, an Underdark?
Mike Dynasty 272 on YouTube. He said I said, what would you like for us to build next time? Some sort of subterranean city or another sky island, etc. I said, you got it, Mike. We do need to build some Underdark stuff. We can also build really anything, but
Well,
Underdark
we
is cool.
could do a Sky Island because we have the city, but there's other floating land, and we do want to go try and harvest some of these crystals. So there could be
Yes.
like the city could be its own thing, but there could be this large landmass up there, or like this crystal whatever that we go and harvest from that has who knows what on it.
I also was thinking, you're in the sky. There's going to be like the White Skull reference and search for that at some point.
Yeah.
And
Could there be a floating temple?
yes, and I'm going to be making a dungeon. I don't know if you guys are going to play long enough to get to it next time, but definitely coming up. But I was also thinking, like, how do you run a dungeon that's not bad? So, like, instead of traps, it's like, you know, you still have
like
your
positive things.
Yes. So,
but
like,
it's still in the same way. Like you step on a foot plate and a flower lay falls around your neck.
right. So, like, you guys, maybe the area where the White Skull is, or maybe like a way to get to the White Skull, or like a key of some sort or whatever. Maybe the big temple dungeon is, and you guys are gonna go in there. You're gonna think it's like trapped and everything, but maybe these traps are like good and they heal you. Maybe you're shipwrecked and like you took a lot of damage or whatever, and all of a sudden this temple's like healing you. You have fond memories of home, and you guys are like spend time, like every other turn I force you guys to like compliment each other, you know. And then as soon as you get the item, fucking hell breaks loose. You know.
As soon as you take the MacGuffin from the perch,
yes,
the world shudders,
Temple
like flashes in and out, and then it's, instead of everything's pleasant, it's that normal dungeon.
Yeah.
And now you're inside of it, trapped, racing, having to get out. And you have all the traps ahead of you.
Yeah. You could also go back and put it, and it turns back.
Yeah.
Maybe you take it to different rooms. Ooh. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
So you have to move it from room to room, traveling in the danger.
Yes, and it's super dangerous.
So the question, do you leave it happy and have everyone else go to that other room and then one person try and make it, or do you all go together?
Split the group.
Or
split the group. Each group has a thing and it turns the other groups. Oh my god.
Or are there passages that are only open when the ring is removed?
Yes. So, or you put it in the, yes. We're getting into Zelda. Now we're getting into like, that's what we're going to do, Chris. I'm going to do that. See, like, no AI there. No AI there.
Yep.
Now I'm going to go make one in AI and be like, I need
now we're going to take these ideas and concepts and use the AI to flesh it out.
The bad guys are going to be good guys when the light turns. I mean...
Yep. And if you kill them when they're bad guys, they're dead when they're good guys.
Yes, and you need information from one of them.
Yep.
When there's so much. This is going to be very fun.
Oh.
Wow. We just did it. We rocked the world. Camp stories, AI, things you should tell your players, and the Black Dragon. But most importantly, the Black and White Dungeon. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
How do you say, you know what? One more chat before we go. How do you say... Oh, no, here. What are the words? What is yin yang in Dwarvish? I'm always more of a Dwarvish, you know.
Well, that's this world as dwarf. That's the big mark, the big chunk on the timeline of our world is the dwarven influence for a large part of it.
So here's funny. For dwarfs, this is why I love the AI stuff.
Yeah.
For dwarvish, yin yang. So conceptually, stone and flame, or hammer and anvil. I like hammer and anvil.
Mm-hmm.
So homebrew D&D dwarvish, Dethic style, Huldra Angrum, endurance and wrath. Huldra Angrum, or it could be Baraz Felka. But I can use all of those opposites. You know.
Yeah.
Really fucking cool.
Nice. I'll throw one last thing at you because you reminded me of it just now. For AI, in one campaign, I had a character who was a cat, but like normal character, but he spoke a cat language. And I use AI to create the cat language, so I'd be able to type what I wanted to say. And then it would turn it into meows and screeches and hisses. And that's what I would send to people who haven't spent time with me long enough to understand my mannerisms and language. Feels good. Feels fun.
That's very funny. I really want to run us a encounter using chat as a DM. That's gonna be really funny.
Well, I'll have to find that the website that has been working on the AI DM.
Yeah,
and we'll look into that.
Yeah, well, or like you could have the character be like Booterbot's nemesis. He's like the robot, the Warforged without a soul, and like you actually, you as a DM role play with it. You know, you could say, okay, you're this guy, and this guy, and you're interacting with this guy. You do not like Booterbot. You're not going to start a fight with him, but you're going to insult him every time any chance you get. Go. Yeah. And Booterbot, you know, because the players say things that you can type really quickly. So,
yeah,
maybe that's it.
We'll see.
All right. Roll high and subscribe.
Yeah,
roll high and subscribe. Hit that button or smash the button or whatever. Wherever you do it, do it.
I don't think we introduced ourselves. I'm Chris. That's Spencer. Whichever direction that is.
Yes.
Catch us next Monday, this coming Monday, for Skulls of Power.
And the yin yang, as Mike Elmore said, it's actually coal/water.
Coal water
would be the yin yang. So maybe we see the cold water temple coming up.
Ooh, you know? I like that.
But we ended our last live stream. You guys got through the clouds on the airship, and we rolled a random encounter and cows. This one was taken from a DM Guild book. Random cows were flying in the air, and you heard a noise from a small island.
Yeah.
And the guy
cows with parachutes.
Yeah, cows with parachutes. Moo. Anyway, roll high, subscribe. We'll see you Monday. We stream every week, Monday and Wednesdays opposite. I don't know how to say that exactly, but bi-weekly, alternating every Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Ask chat how to say that better. See you later.
Dungeon Doom Hands, Let's Talk Lore, a podcast.